Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, November 8th, I believe. Although I just realized I've put the wrong date on this live stream. It might say November 7th in your feed, on your monitor, on your interface. That's a shame. It's November 8th. That's the actual date, November 8th. If you're joining me this morning, sorry that I'm late. I know it was devastating for you to have to wait an extra 28 minutes for my broadcast to start. But I had a problem with streaming to Twitch. I'm not sure what happened, really. I couldn't stream to Twitch. I'm multi-streaming, so I tried to stream to Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube. So they're all streaming fine. It's just Twitch. I think it's because I updated my live streaming software this morning, and that seems to have interfered with the Twitch algorithm or the Twitch coding, the codex or something like that. I don't know how it works. I'm not really a computer expert, to be honest. I dropped that bombshell right now. I'm not the most technically minded person. So that's a shame, but we're still here. We're still live streaming to YouTube and to Facebook. All the main platforms, really. So hope you're having a wonderful Friday. It's a beautiful, soggy day here in southeast Ireland. But it is warm. It's unusually warm for early to mid-November. I guess it's got something to do with the tropical airflow coming up from the Sahara or maybe the tropics. So we're just going to go with it, enjoy it while it lasts. It could be snow, back to hailstones soon enough. A long winter ahead. It's a long winter ahead, ladies and gentlemen. So hope we're all ready for it. Make sure and get a nice warm coat. I mean, everyone should have a nice warm coat for the winter. But when do you get the warm coat? Do you get it in the summer? Do you wait until the winter? Do you wait until it's too late? You know what I mean? Do you wait until you're heading out into the stiff north wind and you suddenly realize this coat, this thin jacket fabric, it's not even waterproof. It's terrible. I should have got a winter coat when I had the time. So, in case you're joining me for the first time, I'm Stephen Stubbs. I am the presenter. I'm a multimedia creative. Award-winning multimedia creative. There's my awards right there. In case you doubt me, don't ever doubt me. Don't ever doubt me. So, so I'm here Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 10:30 a.m.-ish to 1 p.m.-ish for general chats, discussion, pop culture, history, general knowledge, entertainment. And during the course of our discussion, we will create something wonderful. I will gather data points and prompt, and add them to my prompt list. And then I will feed that into various AI software that I have mastered to create a beautiful work of audiovisual art at the end of the show that has never existed before and will never exist again. Well, it will exist in recorded form, but that the alchemy of creation will never happen again in that moment, and you'll be part of that if you watch this show and partake of this show. And I would encourage you to partake of the show, even though there's nobody watching. I would encourage you to partake. So, music. There is music in the background there, but I can't really hear it. Let's change the tune there. So, in case you're wondering who I am Stephen Stubbs. As I said, I'm the presenter. It's actually on the screen right there. Right there. You can't click on that. It looks like a clickable link, but it's not. But I do have a brand new graphic for my socials. There, you can see it right there. They're my socials. So there's all my socials. Well, most of them. Most of my active socials. If you want to join the conversation elsewhere, you can like and subscribe to me on YouTube. I would encourage that. We're going to try and get to 1,000 subscribers over the course of the next 6 months. I'm currently on 235, kind of stuck on 235 for a while now. So I'm going to try and get that up to 1,000 by the end of this year, preferably, and definitely by the end of the decade. We got 6 years left. Five and a bit short years left. 6. Anyway, the point is, let's try and get YouTube up to 1,000 subscribers. And so if you want to follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, or Exeter, as I think it should be called. Exeter, I think, covers all bases. You can follow me on Exeter, there's at Steve Stubbs Man. We're going to try and get that to 1,000 followers by the end of this decade as well. I'm currently on about 291, I think, 92. So, then Instagram, one of my more successful socials. I'm on about 870 followers. So let's get that to 1,000 by the end of this year or next decade. So that's at Steve_Stubbsman. Don't forget the underscore. And Twitch. Even though I'm having problems streaming to Twitch, unfortunately, at this moment, please do follow me on Twitch. Even if you're not on Twitch. Sign up to Twitch. If you're not on Twitch, sign up to Twitch. And become a Twitcher. At StubbVid Media. Yeah. But, so, I'm a little bit late today, but that's fine. I can kind of expedite my usual routine to increase it. Okay, so this is the main camera, the main screen. We got other angles. We got this angle. That's a close-up. And we got the internet going on there. There's the internet on a big screen. So thank you for watching, if you're watching. And we're just going to power on. We're going to just continue on regardless. I think the way to do, from what I've done, I've done some research on live streaming. And believe it or not, even the biggest live streamers with millions of followers, a million of streams, they, once upon a time, had no followers. Apart, then obviously family and friends would have followed them, and then as the years went on, as the months went on, they slowly grew a following. So even the smallest, as Mao said, even the smallest journey begins. Even the longest journey begins with the smallest step. Now, I've been quoting Mao. I've been saying that quote for many years, for most of my projects. And I've been always saying it's a Mao quote, but is it a Mao quote? So let's just check, because part of this show is integrating AI into the creative process, as well as integrating the human beings into the creative process. You are the human beings watching the show. I presume you're a human being. You could be a cockatoo, you could be a poodle, you could be a lizard basking under a heat lamp, left too close to the laptop screen by your neglectful owner. But if you are a human being, then you are also part of the conversation as we build a glorious creative product. I don't want to say content. So what we'll do is we will we'll just clarify that as the show goes on. I will add ideas that we've gathered together to my prompt list. Let's show you the prompt list there. It's just a humble OpenOffice document, nothing special, but it gets the job done. Keep it simple is what I say. Keep it simple is what I say. So as you can see, this is our prompt file. There's our prompt file from yesterday. As over the course of 2 hours or so, we gathered these ideas. I won't go into how we came to these ideas. It just happened naturally by osmosis through the miracle of conversation and internet browsing. So we'll now go on to today's. Today is the 8th of November, so we'll gather our data. We'll start gathering our data. First, I gotta get the date right. I'm having problems with dates at the moment. Today is the 8th of November, not the 7th. Made that mistake earlier. So there's our prompt file. So we'll start off with just Mao. I mentioned Mao. Now let me just check if Mao did actually say that quote. Did Mao actually say, even the longest journey begins with the smallest step? I've been attributing that quote to Mao for as long as I can remember. Let's check it out. And my go-to AI is Copilot. So let's check out what Copilot says about what are these? My AI assistant, I suppose. Yeah, my go-to AI assistant at the moment is Bing AI or Copilot. So let's ask it, did Mao say even the longest journey starts with the smallest step? Let's clear this up once and for all. Actually, the phrase, even the longest journey starts with the smallest step, is often attributed to Lao Tzu, a Chinese follower. The original saying is, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. From the Tao Te Ching, which is his book of philosophy. It's a great reminder that every achievement starts with a small action. And that's kind of what I am implying with this quote, that even though nobody's watching my live streams, this is only episode 4. And there's a long journey ahead. So the earliest that you join the community, the better, because a lot of the in-jokes will make sense then in a few months' time. But if you're just tuning in for the first time, as I said, this show is about conversation, entertainment, browsing the internet, interacting with each other, forming ideas. And as the show goes on, I will gather ideas onto my prompt file and add them to my prompt file. So Mao was the first idea I had. Mao quotes. Inaccurate Mao quotes. It's a bit inaccurate Mao quotes. It's a bit esoteric, that one. So we'll start off with that. So I've already learned something. Lao Tzu is a Chinese philosopher who is attributed. It's actually Lao Tzu who's been attributed that quote, not Mao Zedong. So I think I was confusing Chinese, obviously great Chinese historical figures there. But now I will not make that mistake again. Fool me once, fool me twice. You will not fool me 3 times. So we can carry on now, knowing that Mao was not the one who made that quote. Excellent. Okay. So I like to start off my show by getting the brain in gear. That's me on Twitter. Look, I'm looking at myself on Twitter. Extraordinary. It's like a mirror looking at itself. They say you should not stare into. If you look into the abyss long enough, the abyss will stare into you. Well, when you're live streaming, you might have. If you stare into your second screen too much, it'll stare back into you. I've got multiple screens going on here, so it gets a little bit complicated. Anyway, if you're just joining me, these are all my socials. These are brand new social graphics. I've been up all night creating these with my advanced animation skills. So check them out. Check them out. Okay, so we'll carry on as if people are watching. Now, yesterday I discovered a fun game called Make Your Own Meme. Actually, what I'll do first is we'll get back to that in a second. What we'll do first is we will play the game I always start off with called Framed. If that music is too loud, let me know. I like to have some ambient music on in the background as we build our creative ideas together. So I always start off my day with a game of Framed. A nice game of Framed. In case you're not aware of what that game is, there it is. So basically, it's random frames from a movie. We've got 6 in total, and well, you've up to 6. If you can get it. If you get it in the first guess, that's it. Game over. So here's our first clue. This is, as I said, this is just to get our brains in motion. Here's our first clue on this little game called Framed.wtf. Because I like to keep up to date with my film knowledge. I like to keep that as well informed as possible. It's a life. Being a film buff is a lifelong. Oops. My camera just froze. Okay, so my camera froze because I touched a cable by mistake. A cable. So okay, let me just try and figure out how to fix this. That's my own fault for touching cables. Oops, that's not right. Let me just try and add the camera again. I'll just delete my camera and add it again. This is some very unfortunate technical stuff that you normally wouldn't be aware of. I think you can still hear me though. If you can still hear me, say hello. We'll just try and add this camera again. It's weird, I just brushed off a cable leading to my camera and it just froze me. That's troubling. A troubling incident occurred and I'll just have to figure out why that happened. But in the meantime, we will just try and add my camera again. Just bear with me for a second, ladies and gentlemen. This is live internet. These things happen. Well, that's unfortunate. It is possible to use another camera here. Let me see. Hello, Mark Gleason. Mark Gleason has tuned in just as I'm having a technical meltdown. Mark, so good morning. Hope you're doing well, Mark. I'm presuming you're seeing a frozen image of me, but you can hear me. Is that correct? Now, so the current screen is my main camera has frozen. Not quite sure how to fix that without. Yeah, okay, not quite sure how to fix that without resetting the stream. So I'm just going to carry on with my second backup camera. I'll just cover up myself there behind. Yeah, I think that kind of works. We'll just carry on regardless. This is called improvisation. Technically, you got to improvise. So my main camera behind me is frozen. I will endeavor to fix that when the show is over. But we can continue on with this. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's a much more low res version of my face, but it still works. You can still hear me. So thanks, Mark, for updating me on that technical issue. If you're just joining me, here's my socials. On this camera, my face is frozen too. Actually, hold on. I think I can. This is fun. Isn't this exciting? Don't worry. We will get into the. We'll get into it in a moment. If you are joining me, there's lots of socials here that you can follow me with. These are very exciting socials. We're going to try and get my YouTube. I would draw special attention to my YouTube channel. We're trying to get that to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this decade. It's on 235 at the moment, so I would appreciate that at StubVid Media. So we're back to my main cam. Let's just get into it. Let's get into the show now, because I've done enough waffling. Although waffling is a key part of this show. So what we're going to do is, as the show goes on, we're going to build some prompts. Okay, we've already got one idea, which is we've already got our prompt file here. Inaccurate Mao quotes. It's a bit unusual. Probably might not use that, apart from maybe using Mao. So what we'll do is, Mark says he'd love a few waffles. What? Me too, Mark. I am absolutely starving. I'm streaming on an empty stomach, which is not to be advised. Okay, well, I'm going to shut down my main camera. What I'll do is I'll shut down my main camera. This is exciting. This is like a live tutorial for an inept live streamer. So I've shut down my main camera. Just gonna turn it back on again now. Love a few waffles. Yeah. Mark, do you like your waffles with syrup or blueberries, fresh cream, bacon, or all the above? Actually, let's ask. Well, we'll wait for Mark's answer first, and then we'll ask AI, Bing. We'll ask Bing what's the most popular syrup. Okay, Mark likes it with syrup. Let me just put my little head. Let's put my little head in. We'll copy this camera into my, okay. Let's see if this works. This is extremely exciting. Yes, it does work. Whoops. Okay, so that's a bit big. We will just, this is improvising on the hoof, as we say in the video production industry. But on the hoof, we will improvise. So I'm just trying to cover up my frozen head. Actually, I'll remove my frozen head altogether for the time being. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, so there's me. Now we're fine. We're back. We're pretty much back to normal now. Using my backup webcam, because the main cam is a beautiful Sony 6100 that I paid a lot of money for. But the webcam is free here on my Dell laptop. It does the job in emergency situations, and this is an emergency situation. But luckily, nobody has really seen this meltdown apart from Mark Gleason. And I'm very grateful. And Mark, we are talking about waffle toppings, and you've just said that syrup is your favorite waffle topping. Syrup is your favorite waffle topping. You got Canadian syrup from A.D. Allen. Okay, that's a guy we worked with recently. In case you're just tuning in, me and Mark worked on a huge TV series over in Port Law, a small village in Waterford, County Waterford. But for 6 weeks, it became like Hollywood, the new Hollywood, out the road there in Port Law. And we had a great time together there for a few weeks. I then left the production under a cloud of secrecy. And but then Mark powered on and did the full 6 weeks, I think, maybe even longer. But anyway, the point is, one of the nice guys we met on that production, Alan, he gave Mark some Canadian syrup. Anyway, the point I'm making to you now is let's ask AI, what's the most popular waffle topping? This is the kind of high-end content you get on this show. Topping has 2 P's, doesn't it? My spelling isn't what it used to be. I blame the internet for that. But anyway, so because spell check is now so much integrated into our everyday lives, whether we're WhatsApping or just Googling, we're constantly spell checking. So it kind of negates the need to memorize spelling. Anyway, the point I'm making to you is, what's the most waffle topping? What's the most popular? Sorry, it even knows I meant to say popular. Isn't it incredible? One of the most popular waffle toppings is whipped cream. Oh. It adds a light and fluffy texture that pairs perfectly with the crispiness of waffles. Ooh, maybe. Oh, I can see where they're going there. Yeah. Other favorites include maple syrup, fresh syrup, like strawberries and blueberries, and chocolate sauce. Do you have a favorite waffle topping? I gotta say, I like the bacon myself. I mean, obviously you got sweet or savory. My favorite savory topping would be crispy bacon, and my favorite sweet topping would be blueberries. blueberries with a little bit of syrup, just a wee bit of syrup there, not too much, because blueberries are quite sweet. So I think this is such a powerful conversation that we will have to add some of this to our prompt list. So we'll go whipped cream. Whipped cream with waffle topping with whipped cream and syrup. So if you're just joining us for the first time, this prompt file will make a bit more sense later on when we feed all these ideas into our music and visual AI generator. And we'll create a brand new work of art at the end of the show, which is only 90 minutes away, because we got a lot to get through. So stick with me, Mark. Put me on there if you're in the office working hard or not working hard, just put me on the big screen and just let this show flow over you like warm syrup. Okay, so we're starting to gather our prompts for our prompt file. Data points. Because that's kind of what we are now. We're all kind of like data points. We're content data point generators for the great hive mind of AI. So I start off my day with playing a few games, puzzles and quizzes to keep my eye in. So Mark, here's the first frame in a game called Framed. We have 6 frames ahead of us, but we need to try and guess what film it is. Now, this is an interesting one. Now, let me see. If you've got any ideas, Mark, or anyone else watching, then do let me know. Because at the moment, I don't know the film. I'd have to try and work it out logically, which is what you should do with all kinds of trivial problems. So to me, it looks like a 1980s or 1990s film. Just judging by the grain, the film grain, and the clothing. It's an action-adventure film, probably a cop film. You can see the gun holster on that guy's jean belt, which would suggest he's a cop. He's got a kind of Kurt Russell hairstyle from the early 90s. I don't think it's Kurt. No guesses yet from anyone out there. We are talking about this. Okay, so we're gonna have to guess something. To play this game correctly, you have to guess something. Okay, so I'm getting a strong Kurt Russell vibe off this, but Breakdown. I think he made a film called Breakdown in the late 90s. Now, I don't think it is that, but we have to guess something. Is it even on the list here? Strangely, a lot of kind of popular movies aren't actually in the list when you try and type it in. Not Breakdown. Let's say something like To Live and Die in L.A. To Live and Die in L.A. The William Friedkin movie. Okay, it's not that. Ooh. Okay. So the second clue is not really ringing any bells with me. No. I'm not hearing the ringing of bells for this. I'm now more convinced it's a 1980s film. So it's an action adventure cop vengeance movie with a hint of the Wild West, some kind of agrarian subplot. Kind of looks like the Dukes of Hazzard. The movie. Was there a Dukes of Hazzard, the movie? No. Let me think. Let me think of some 80s movies. Let's just say Commando. It's not that, but we need to... Okay. It's Seinfeld. No. So we got some guy with big hair. Mel Gibson style, late 80s hairstyle. I don't recognize this actress at all. Any ideas, Mark, if you're still watching? I don't have any guesses for this at all. I'm pretty sure it's a terrible movie. It looks like a kind of a 80s straight to DVD kind of movie. Well, straight to video movie. They didn't have DVDs in the 80s. So this camera is frozen behind me. Still frozen. I think I'd have to basically close down the live stream to get that camera reactivated. But it looks kind of cool. I'm not sure how that happens. When a camera crashes like that, how does it freeze? Why is the image repeating like that if there's no signal coming through to it? I've never been quite sure how that happens. But anyway, I've improvised on the fly, and I've managed to install a separate camera based on my webcam. My close-up is broken. It's also frozen. But anyway, we're back to this game. We're playing this game to get our brain moving, get our brain on the boil. Although you don't want to actually boil your brain. That would be painful and extremely damaging to the brain itself. I don't think the soft tissue in the brain would react well to boiling water. Anyway, I'm not getting any. Let's say Lethal Weapon. It's not Lethal Weapon. But you know what I mean. Oh, hold on a second now. It could be Emilio Estevez. He had a preposterous mullet in this period, in the late early 90s, because he was doing the spoof as part of that spoof Lethal Weapon movie, Loaded Weapon. It's not even in the list. So let's just say Lethal Weapon. It's not Lethal Weapon. And Patsy Kensit was the love interest in Lethal Weapon. Or was it Lethal Weapon 2? Let me know in the chat. Here we go. Okay, so it's not... I was correct. It definitely was a 1980s mullet. But it wasn't Mel Gibson's 1980s mullet. It was actually Patrick Swayze's 1980s mullet. Now, it's not... it's not Dirty Dancing. It is set in the 80s. I know by the cars. So... I think it can only be... I mean, Patrick Swayze didn't make a lot of action movies. I think it can only be his most well-known action movie, which was remade recently with Jake Gyllenhaal, and the controversial MMA fighter, Conor McGregor, as he's called in Irish media, even though he hasn't had an MMA fight for a long time. I think he's just now controversial Conor McGregor. They remade his movie, a dreadful remake, absolutely dreadful, and I'll stand by that. It's one of the worst films I've ever seen. especially with a major mainstream Hollywood star like Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm sure he had great fun getting his body in shape for that movie, but it is schlock of the lowest order, schlock of a lazy order. There's also some camera work in that I think is trying to be inventive, but it comes across as a student endeavor. I think sometimes some of these Hollywood stars like Gyllenhaal, they just pick a role knowing that they'll get their body in shape. So it's more of a personal thing, really. It's to get my body in shape and to be paid millions in order for me to be on a fitness regimen. Because he looks buff. He looks buffer than a car after a good buffing. So let's say it's going to be Roadhouse. It's just got to be Roadhouse. Boom. You got it. You got it. Thank you to everyone who contributed to that quiz. Let's face it, it was just me. But we carry on regardless. Onwards, ever onwards. Hope you're enjoying the ambient tunes. I am. Very soothing of a Friday. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Let me know. Drop it in the comment thread. Drop it in the chat. Chat it in the chat. During the COVID-19 era, I actually had a very popular live stream called the Quizcast. Sometimes up to 50 people would watch. It seems like a long time ago now, but I have to do what I think is right creatively. And I believe this format, in the long run, will be even more popular. Which is me browsing the internet and chatting and creating wonderful AI art along the way. So, speaking of which, I think we can add Roadhouse to this prompt file, I think. Roadhouse. It would be interesting to see an AI's rendering of the Roadhouse concept. Not the movie per se, but just the concept of a roadhouse, which is kind of basically a dive bar at the side of the road where truckers and bikers and alcoholics kind of hang out and fight. Where they fight and love. Fight, drink, and love. Fight, drink, and love. So that's the first game. We got that in 4 guesses, which is pretty good. What are the last 2 guesses? It would have been this and this. Yeah, that I would have got. That's Sam. That's the actor called Sam. Sam Worthington. No. And yeah, I would have definitely got it from this, I'd say. Sam Elliott. The inevitable Sam Elliott. Who's kind of looked like that for his entire career. He must be in his 70s or 80s now. But handsome man. Great moustache, great facial hair. And an amazing voice. So that's Roadhouse. Congratulations to everyone who got that correct. When I go on to the second game, this one is called it's called Faces, and it combines the faces of 2 actors. It's usually male and female. Is it male and female today? Oh, no, it's 2 males. Interesting. So, male 1. Only clue so far is male. Other clues will appear as we get them wrong. Now, this is tricky. I mean, he's got kind of Viggo Mortensen. No, you know who he looks a bit like? He looks a bit like Ed Harris. There's an Ed Harris jawline going on here, because I have been fascinated by Ed Harris's jawline. His face in general, for as long as I've been watching him. And I've been watching Ed Harris's face since the 1980s. Definitely since Abyss, which is 1989. He's got these incredible blue eyes, Ed Harris. And and an intensity that I'm sure is quite spooky to be around. I remember seeing him in a... Did you ever see him in that press conference where Ed Harris kind of... Some dumb question. A journalist asks him some dumb question about what's it like to be an actor known for his intensity, and what's it like to be violent, to be... I think it was the film... I think it was something to do with the history of... Is he in A History of Violence, the film? Anyway, it was an interview about a film he was in that had a lot of violence. And I think the journalist asked him, if you're in a violent film, does that make you a violent person? Or do you have any, why are you in violent movies? Do violent movies not promote violence? And Ed gave a quite unusual reaction, shall we say. So we'll just look for that clip on the YouTube. Ed Harris anger. Here we go. Ed Harris's meltdown.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the press conference for A History of Violence. And I will immediately introduce the people who are here at this panel. Sitting next to me, actor and director, Mr. Ed Harris. Ed, you wanted to add anything?
Not particularly.
Oh yeah, you did do one. That's
I'd
right.
like to add that. No, because what is that? What is that? You know? What is that? What is it? What is it? What is violence? What is it? You know, that's what the movie's about.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, thank you very much for being here.
Okay. Yeah. What is that is correct. What exactly is that? Whoa. Yeah. What is that? Wow, I'm now watching myself on YouTube. This is like an event horizon. So that was pretty intense, eh? What exactly was Ed up to there? I mean, I think it was the end of the interview. I always thought it was a question asked by a journalist about what is violence? What is violence? You know? And Ed then said, "This is violence. This is fucking violence. You want some violence? This is violence." But it seems it does happen at the end of the press conference. Has Ed ever explained himself for that outburst? 'Cause it's pretty scary. I could tell by the silence of the journalists and his co-panelists who are just there to promote some fucking movie they've made. You know, they don't want to get involved in a fist fight with Ed Harris or a glass barrage. Like, you don't want to. I mean, it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful to his co-actors and to Cronenberg, the director of A History of Violence. It was disrespectful. Has Ed Harris explained his meltdown? Because I think he's due. I'm due an explanation because I felt a little bit perturbed by it. And I don't even know Ed Harris. I wasn't even there that day. Ed Harris had a notable meltdown during a press conference at the Toronto International Film Festival in 2004 while promoting the film A History of Violence. During the panel, he repeatedly hit the table and asked, "What is that?" before stating, "What is violence?" That's what the movie's about. As for an explanation, Harris hasn't publicly commented on his behavior during that panel. Really? Some speculate that he might have been making a statement about the nature of violence, possibly staying in character or expressing frustration with the press. Well, I definitely picked up on frustration with the press. I think he was obviously had come to the end of maybe a very long press junket for A History of Violence, and had been asked about the nature of violence dozens or maybe hundreds of times. I think that's what basically made him snap. It's one of those moments that remains a bit of a mystery. What do you think about his approach to discussing violence in such an intense manner? Well, I mean, it is possible. I mean, I hadn't thought of that he was maybe in character. For those few moments, he was in character. And he went there. He just went back to that place he had been during the production of the film, where he plays a very nasty, violent man. It's possible. And he is an intense guy. I mean, he played Pollock, one of the most intense people that's ever lived, really. Jackson Pollock. Anyway, so I think that's a good theory. I think he just lapsed into his character for a few seconds. But I think there was a lot of frustration at the inane questions he was getting from the press. But it's part of the job, so just put up with it. I think it was disrespectful to his co-actors, and that's the main issue I have with that incident. Plus, how does he know there wasn't someone lowly press, intern behind him? Could have been glassed in the face, could have lost their eyesight, broken a tooth, Anyway, so I'm going to guess Ed Harris. Oh. Well, after all that, it's not Ed Harris. But I am going to add to my prompt file. Ed Harris meltdown. Okay. So it's not Ed Harris. I'm surprised by that. Gotta say, I'm a little bit surprised. So, anyway, we got a new clue. He's born 1930. Wow. So he is the astonishing age of, if he's still alive, he's well on his way to 100. He's 94. Oh. It's got to be Clint Eastwood, eh? I mean, Clint Eastwood has a pretty... I mean, that could be a Clint Eastwood jawline, and it could be a Dirty Harry. What? It's not Clint Eastwood. Okay, so our next guesses are Dr. No, The Rock, The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I mean, that's got to be Sean Connery. Now, I'm not seeing Sean Connery anywhere here in this AI creation. I mean, that's not Sean Connery's eyes. He's got much darker eyebrows, much thicker, fuller eyebrows. I mean, not even a mustache. I mean, he had a beard and mustache. That's not his hair, unless they're using his wigged... When he had the wig in later films like The Rock and so on, he did have that kind of a baronet. Okay, so it's definitely Sean Connery, but I just don't see it. I don't see it there at all. Anyway, we got another guess. We got another face to discover. So we're halfway there. Well, let's try Ed Harris on this side. Oh, it won't let me choose Ed Harris on the right hand side. Okay, so interesting. Vigo, is it Vigo? I'm getting a Vigo kind of vibe. No. Born 25th of September 1944, so they're 80 years old. They've just turned 80. Happy birthday to mystery actor. They've just turned 80. They've just turned 80 if they're still alive. I think all the actors... Oh no, Sean Connery's dead. Yeah, so this can be dead actors. It can be dead actors, which opens up a whole new panoply of options. Okay, so male, born 80 years old. Let's try Robert De Niro. It's not Robert De Niro, but we gotta guess something. And I got lots to be doing. It's not Robert De Niro, but we got another clue. He's known for Ant-Man, The Game, Basic Instinct. Yeah, I think we all know who that is. I think we all know who that is. I'm still frozen on this screen, but we power on regardless. We do the best we can. If you're just tuning in, please do navigate to my socials. There they are. So, it's gotta be Michael Douglas. It simply must be. It is. You got it. Okay, so I'm definitely, in hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, I do see, excuse me, I do see the likeness to Michael Douglas. I do not see any likeness to Sean Connery, and I will dispute that in a court of law. Cool. So we got about an hour left in this show. So we better power on. We better power onwards. So a little game I discovered yesterday really did excite me, entertain me, and tickled my funny bone and creative bone. If my funny bone and creative bone can be tickled simultaneously, I'm a happy man. It's called let's go navigate to it now on Pokai.com, which is a lovely selection of games. Pokai. It's got all kinds of different games, from football games to, these are all free as far as I know. Football games and puzzles and so on. Sudoku, of course, always a favorite. Master chess, wrestling. But this is the one I came across yesterday. Make it meme. So what you do is, Steve S. Okay, Steve S. That's my name. Stephen, actually. Let's call him my proper name, Stephen S. So what you do is, they will now gather a little a room of players, 15, I believe, and I'll be in amongst them. And then we got to create memes. And then we vote on the memes, and we try and get to the top of the leaderboard during the course of... So here's the first caption. I got to now basically create a caption for this GIF of a dancing dinosaur lizard creature. Any suggestions? I don't really know what that creature is, to be honest. I think it's a dinosaur. Caption. That Friday feeling, eh? That Friday memes referencing Fridays are very popular. That Friday feeling. It's basic, but you know, I'm just getting warmed up. But I really enjoyed this game yesterday. I came across it just by chance. And as I said, it challenges you creatively, obviously to come up with the funny captions. But it's also pleasurable to see other people's memes. So I now have to vote on this one. POV. So someone else in this group has created this. Me after my friend put his hand on my lap for the 6th time in class. Now, one thing I noticed yesterday is that a lot of the memes that are being created by my colleagues are quite reference school a lot. So it's possible. Oops. Me after I found out my sibling is moving out, so I get his room. Too much text, but me having a minute and 2 minutes. Okay, I think maybe someone above the age of 18 has made this one because me having a minute and 2 minutes. Me. Meh. Next meme. Yeah, I think there's a lot of school kids playing this game in school when they should be doing their lessons. Vote the meme. Get the fuck out. I don't understand that. That's a down thumb. A thumb down. Next meme. Vote the meme. Me in my Halloween costume. Okay, it's just kind of a Smurf type creature. No. Doesn't do anything for me. I don't really understand the reference, apart from it being a Smurf. When someone says no, then I have to use my ultimate super weapon. Okay. I presume that's some kind of a reference to video gaming. Video gaming? Nothing but... Okay. I'll just say meh. Because that could have another meaning I'm not aware of. But as I said, I think a lot of people who are playing this game are school kids. Me finally getting something that I really like for Christmas. You see what I mean? Good morning, Shane. Good morning, Shane. Thank you for joining the live stream today, and thanks for stopping by to say hello. We had some technical problems with my main camera earlier. Okay, so this meme is when I found my t-shirt. Okay. A bit basic, so I'll say meh. Yeah, as you can see, Shane, my main camera is frozen behind me. He's frozen there, so I had to improvise with my webcam. That explains why I'm looking a little bit, a little bit blurry and not quite as resolved, or my resolution's a bit poor. But it's fine. It's all about improvising here on live streaming. Danch. Thank you. Shane is enjoying my stream from the comfort of a cafe on Grafton Street. Thanks to you, I got Prism set up last night. Oh, well done. Well done, Shane. Yesterday on the show, I gave Shane a brief tutorial about the live streaming software I use, which is called Prism Live Studio. And so he's got that set up on his computer already. Good man. He's a man of action, is Shane. So the winner of that meme round was, when someone says no, then I have to use my ultimate super weapon. Okay. And I got 0 points. Stephen S. is me. I got 0 points? It's better than minus points, I suppose. Or negative points, as they say in America. Okay, the Smurf thing got... understand that. Anyway, so Shane is enjoying the show from Grafton Street in Dublin. A beautiful street. The shopping capital. The shopping capital of Ireland. Grafton Street. The busking capital of Ireland. Here we go. Sorry, we're back to this. We'll just play another little round of this. Caption 1. Time left. Caption 1. Any ideas, Shane, for this meme? So it's a shocked emoji. Surprised emoji. Now, knowing that a lot of the people playing this game are kids, maybe if I tailor my answers to a young audience, it might equate to a higher score from them, my peers. Let's say forgetting Wi-Fi password. Chocolate for breakfast. Me and Dad suggest chocolate for breakfast. Is that your suggestion for the meme? Oh, I spelled it wrong, but kids kind of like them. I have noticed the TikTok kids like to having chocolate for breakfast. That fact, you know, there's kind of a Jump into the cloud, and we did. So sometimes, as I said, that misspelling, that deliberate misspelling, might appeal to my young colleagues. Exactly. But thanks for the suggestion, Shane. Me actually racist. My mom. Yeah. No. Down, dumb down. Here's Pepe the Frog, a popular character in the alt-right TikTok generation. Vote the meme. Happy. Don't happy. I think that's a video game reference. It's a video game alt-right reference. You're right, Shane. Coffee. Trump did spell coffee as kafefe. Vote the meme. Me whenever I hear that song. That's kind of funny. Raccoons are funny. They just are. You know? Math question. Me, if I eat pen, I would die. If I eat pen, I would die. Okay, so it's not actually a maths question, but it's something you would think about in math class. So it's kind of an interesting existential thing. Me at 3 a.m. filming a TikTok. That's okay. I think that'll do quite well, because a lot of the people in this room are meme room are TikTokers. I've noticed an interesting crossover between the TikTok generation and the alt-right, which is one of the reasons I think Trump might have gotten quite a high vote for all those first-time voters. Because for them, it's all about the lols. You know, it's about the edgelords and the meme lords. And let's admit it, Elon and Trump, they are edgelords. Me when I see a person getting a toy and I don't. Yes, that's cute. So Shane is saying he saw a raccoon on last Christmas in Florida. The ranger who had been working there for a year. Hold on. We got our meme results here. Who won? Me at 3 a.m. cooking a TikTok. Filming a TikTok. Did I get any votes? Please. Sorry, Shane. We got minus 571 votes. We came last with that. But that's fine. That's mostly my fault because I spelled chocolate and breakfast wrong. Sorry about that, mate. So anyway, you were saying you got a raccoon last Christmas. And you saw a raccoon last Christmas in Florida. Sorry, I'll get back to that in a sec. We'll play one final round of this. I'm determined to get up the leaderboard, to get higher up that leaderboard. Yesterday, one of my memes got voted as number one amongst these kids. I'm demanding respect from these children, creatively. I'm an award-winning creative. Look, my awards are there. Sorry. So, caption 1, caption 2. Okay. Okay. Waking up. Waking up is always a popular way to start a meme. Waking up. "6 a.m. It's Saturday." Oh, it's Saturday. Yeah, I'm not. That's not one of my best. But I'm as I said, I'm trying to appeal to the school kids who will wake up early on a Saturday morning because their body clocks have been altered. Here's this meme again. Me going to exam hall with no knowledge. See, it's once again, it's a reference to school. Me going to exam hall with zero knowledge. Yeah, confidently striding into your exam hall, not knowing a goddamn thing. That's mine. Waking up 6 a.m. Oh, it's Saturday. I might get a couple of votes. Anyway, sorry, Shane. You said you saw a raccoon last Christmas in Florida. The ranger who had been working there for a year hadn't seen one and was furious when I showed him the photo of the raccoon. Just timing. He was furious because he had not seen a raccoon, or he was chasing after the raccoon. And you had seen it first. Math problem. If Sha ate 1,000 chocolates, what would be the result? Meh. That's my result. Meh. Oh, just timing. Yeah, sorry. But you mean, when you say ranger, you mean you're in a park of some kind? Or a nature reserve, and he was chasing after... He had never seen a raccoon? I thought they're as common as hedgehogs. What's this? When I find out my crush likes me back. Ah, yeah. Shall we be all doing a little dance when we know our crushes like us back, don't we? No matter what we age, from 12 to 80. Let me see now. What happened? Did I get any votes? Oh, I got a couple of votes. I'm not the worst. Actually, the top 4. Blue Smurf Cat. Okay, so this one. So blue. Okay, so apparently it's called Blue Smurf Cat. Blue Smurf Cat. On my way to school. On my way to class. Well, that's quite literal. MAGA. Let's say MAGA beanie hat. Shane is back to the raccoon conversation. Shane says they are elusive creatures and normally only come out near the evening. So he had been working at the Slough Nature Reserve near Fort Myers, and he had not seen a raccoon at that specific reserve. Wow. Interesting. So he must have felt very jealous that you had just popped in from Ireland and had been confronted with a raccoon straight away. The Slough Nature Reserve. Not Slough in England, of course. Me confidently walking to the exam. Well, that's mine. That's mine. Oh, sorry. No, it's not. Oh, dear. That's bizarre. I got confused about my own meme there. Yeah, so I went to go visit my friend. Clothes or without clothes? Usually we go without clothes. Yeah, meh. Fort Myers, Slough Nature Reserve near Fort Myers. I must check that out on the. I must have a look at that on Google. I also didn't put in my way. Jesus, I gotta get a better keyboard. On my way to class with my new beanie hat. Dear oh dear. Gotta do this. I gotta have someone. I gotta double check my memes before I correct. I press submit. POV when I passed. Woohoo! Sure. These are all school references. Kind of feeling a bit awkward here. I'm by far the oldest person here. I should be dominating this with my superior comedic knowledge and meme knowledge. Okay, so obviously this guy won. Me confidently going to school, blah blah blah. On my to class with my new mega beanie hat. That's poor. It's really. Oh dear, oh dear. And there's only 4 people left in this room, and I'm rock bottom. Rock bottom. But Cypress Slough Nature Reserve is what Shane was meant to say. That's okay. We're all having problems with keyboards today. And I'm having problems with my camera. This is my backup camera. I look at 20% less handsome. Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough of that game. That's enough of that game. We were talking about Ed Harris earlier and his meltdown at a press conference. But Cypress Slough Nature Reserve. Cypress Slough. Let's check out Cypress Slough Nature Reserve. Maybe I can copy and paste this. Can I? Yes, I can. That will speed up things exponentially. Cypress 6 Mile. The full name, Shane, is 6 Mile Cypress Slough Reserve. Nature Preserve. Sorry. Nature Preserve. Preserve. There's some raccoons right there. So it's known for its raccoon and owls. The 6 Mile Cypress Slough Preserve is a long, narrow wetland with slowly flowing fresh water. Oh, it's got one of these boardwalks. Yeah, we have one of them now here in Waterford, out at the Fenner Bog. They've built a beautiful boardwalk over the bog, so it's like you're floating above the bog. It's quite an experience, the Fenner Bog. So, the Interpretive Centre. What is this? The Interpretive Centre is the first green building in Lee County. It houses displays and interactive exhibits that provide an introduction to the wonders of Slough. Shane saw gators, snakes, a screech owl. It's a great spot in the Everglades. I've never been to Florida, have I? No, I have flown over Florida. One of my cousins lives there in Orlando. So I will visit someday. All my cousins will be visited eventually, whether they like it or not. No pets allowed. Oh, you can't bring your dog to a nature preserve? That seems a bit counterintuitive. But it does look like a beautiful place. And there's those raccoons. Here's the 2024 photo contest winners. And it's a raccoon. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, there it is. It seems to be a mother and child. A raccoon mother and child. That's very, very cute. Winner Grace Waller. Okay. Yep. Fenner is, as Shane is saying there, Fenner is lovely. Yes, you should enter your picture, Shane. If you have a picture that you took during your visit to the Slough Preserve, then you should definitely submit it. With your Canon 7D. So I think we got to add some of this to our prompt file. Raccoons. I mean, why not? This is what got the ball rolling. Raccoons. 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 Is there two? Yeah, there's two O's in it. Raccoon, of course. So far on our prompt file, we have inaccurate Mao quotes. That's probably just going to be Mao. Waffle toppings with whipped cream and syrup. Earlier on, one of our viewers, Mark Gleason, he referred to syrup being his favorite waffle topping, but then I asked AI, what is the most popular waffle topping? And apparently it's whipped cream. I prefer bacon myself. Crispy bacon. Made from the finest pig meats. Then we got on somehow to Roadhouse, the Patrick Swayze film, not the Jake Gyllenhaal remake, which is not up to par, in my opinion. And then we had Ed Harris's Meltdown. In case you're not aware of this, Shane, Ed Harris had a meltdown at a press conference 20 years ago for the film A History of Violence. The press conference was winding up, and he was asked about his opinions on violence in movies, I think, and he just basically started slamming the desk and threw a glass behind him and saying, "That's violence. That's it. That's violence." It's a bit odd. He's never explained himself for that incident, apparently. But check it out on YouTube. Just search Ed Harris Meltdown. But anyway, so raccoons. Raccoons hiding from the ranger. That could be fun. Raccoons hiding from park ranger. Yeah, it's true, Shane. In fact, I'll play it again for you. You're so kind to be watching the show today. I will actually go to that clip again. Because it is an extraordinary clip. It's been in my mind for 20 years. And I never really understood exactly why he did that. And the people around him didn't really get it either. And apparently he's never explained himself for this incident. But I think it was very disrespectful to his co-panelists, his co-actors. They were promoting A History of Violence. I'll just show it to you again. And it seemed to come out of left field, as they say. Oops, never mind all this. So, sorry. Back to, here we go. Here's Ed. This is just at the end of the press conference.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the press conference for A History of Violence. And I will immediately introduce the people who are here at this panel. Sitting next to me, actor and director Mr. Ed Harris. Ed? You wanted to add anything?
Not particularly.
Oh yeah, you did do one. That's
I'd
right.
like to have that. No, because what is that? What is that? You know? What is that? What is it? What is violence? What is it? You know, that's what the movie's about.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, thank you very much for being here.
Wow, what an intense guy! I mean, Ed Harris is an intense guy, but I think that cuts out most of the press conference. It's the beginning and the end of the press conference. So I think there was a lot of questions about the nature of violence in movies, and Ed maybe was a little bit bored with the repetition in the question, and he just decided to give the audience of journalists a little sample of actual violence and to see how they react to it. I mean, the film is about the effect that violence has on people, the effect that violence has as a victim and as a perpetrator. As in, violence gets shit done sometimes. Unfortunately, it does. Read a history book. And I think it's obviously the film is a critique of violence, especially and I think he's just saying violence is scary. Now, there you go. Are you scared? Are you not entertained? I think that's what he was trying to do. He just didn't articulate it very well, or maybe he articulated it too well. Shane is saying, could this be his way to create some attention for the movie? In the same way Michael O'Leary says things like, we are going to charge for the usage of the toilets, etc. Yeah, definitely. It definitely brought more attention to the film at the time. I remember that was top story. Well, not top story, but it was on mainstream news, the incident. And the film was a big hit. Anyway, it's a very well regarded film, history of violence. There is not a lot of violence, but there is moments of extreme violence in the film which are quite realistic and grim. Someone else suggested that maybe Ed was in character. His character in the film is a violent, intense person. So maybe he slipped back into character for those few seconds. It's hard to know. And apparently he's never explained himself. Which I think I kind of admire that. I kind of admire when an artist doesn't go into granular detail about everything. I mean, that was a performance he did there. But I still think it's a bit disrespectful to the co-panelists. I think they're a little bit scared of him. And as I said, luckily there was nobody walking behind him. Like some lowly paid intern might have been passing at that precise moment and got a shot glass in the eye. No worries, Shane. Thanks very much for dropping by and saying hello. And we shall indeed chat soon. Have a great day in Dublin. My old haunt. I lived there for many years before I was exiled to the old country here in Waterford. So have a great Friday afternoon and an even better weekend. And we'll chat soon. Ciao. Cool. We'll actually add a little reference to Dublin maybe in our prompt. The city of Dublin. And hopefully I'll have my camera fixed, my main camera fixed by bear with me for a sec. Yeah, I just realized I can chat. I can also chat in the chat room here. It's a bit tricky because some of my keyboard keys are linked to my camera angles, which is causing some confusion. But I will figure it out. This whole week has been a soft launch for It's basically a technical launch, to be honest. A week-long technical tutorial for myself. So it's 12:30 now. It's almost time we start building our song. First we build the song, then we build the audio, the visuals, and then we link it all together. And what do you get? You get an AI audiovisual experience. Let's just see what the commenters say here. Maybe the commenters can illuminate, give a bit more context as to what the hell Ed was up to here. Ed Harris accurately portrayed my father when he come home after a miserable day at work. Okay, so everyone's making witty comments here. Yeah. So yeah, the clip is edited. He didn't. The interview. The press conference didn't just start and then Ed immediately lost the plot. That was the end of a long, probably boring, repetitious press conference where he was repeatedly asked about the nature of violence. And then he's like, "This is violence. You want some violence? There you go. Take it. It's not nice. It's not pleasant." Yeah, exactly. This wasn't a meltdown. It was a demonstration of the film's principle. Fine. But it's not actually... You're not actually on set, Ed. And throwing props around is a bit dangerous when it's a press conference and no one's expecting it. That's all I'm saying. It could have gone horribly wrong. Yeah, everyone's gangster until Ed Harris melts down. That's it. Genius. Notice how everyone just shut up and weren't sure how to continue. That's violence. And it is. I've been lucky enough not to experience extreme violence personally, but I've seen it. I've seen it around me, and it definitely shuts people up. I mean, we are a violent species, the Homo sapiens, but a lot of us can go our entire lives without inflicting any violence or experiencing violence. But we are a violent species. And I think that's the principle that Ed was trying to articulate there, and it worked. So that's that. I think we need to start building our song now, because we only got a half hour left, and it's the weekend, baby. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Yes, Stephen, I do actually. Oh, what are your plans, Stephen? Well, I'm going to have a nice dinner tonight in my friend's house. My friend Nell, my girlfriend Rania, and we're going to have a lovely steak. A slow cooked steak, which is really delicious. My friend Anthony has a way of cooking a steak that will just blow your mind. It'll blow your taste buds. I think he cooks it over like 4 or 5 hours on a frying pan on a very low heat. You need incredible patience for this. I wouldn't have the patience myself. In fact, I'm not entirely sure how he does it. He hasn't given me a full breakdown of his technique. And in one way, I don't want to know, because I know it'll never. If I try and recreate his slow cooked steak, it won't be as nice. Let's ask Copilot, what's a good way to cook slow cooked? The perfect slow cooked snake. Slow cooked snake? The perfect slow cooked snake. Steak! God damn it. Okay, according to Copilot, and this, remember now, there's millions and millions of this question has scraped millions and data from millions of websites about discussions on slow cooked steaks. So you kind of have to believe this is the best slow cooked snake. Steak! 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 Got snakes on the mind. Snakes, look. A slow cooked snake. Look, I have the power. Look at this. Look at the power I have here. I can create these animations and I'm not using them. Look at that. Slow cooked steak, I meant. Not a slow cooked snake. Wow. So look, I have that in my locker. I have the capacity to create these kind of animations at the drop of a hat, but I use them very sparingly at a time and place of my choosing. Anyway, back to this. Okay, so the perfect slow cooked steak involves a combination of time, temperature, and seasoning. Here's a method to get a tender, flavorful steak. Ingredients: 1 to 2 steaks, such as ribeye or sirloin. Salt and pepper, absolutely. 2 to 3 garlic cloves, of course, minced. Oh, I need to get myself a minced garlic. A garlic mincer. Rania, if you're watching, we need to get a garlic mincer. Fresh rosemary or thyme, optional. Olive oil or butter. Season the steaks. Generously season both sides of the steaks with salt and pepper. If you like, add minced garlic and fresh herbs for additional flavor. Without a doubt, you gotta add some minced garlic. Once you've gone to all the trouble of buying a garlic mincer, you gotta then use the garlic on your food. Minced. Sear the steaks. In a hot pan, sear the steaks in olive oil or butter for 2 to 3 minutes on each side until a crust forms. Slow cook. Transfer the steaks to a slow cooker. Add a small amount of beef broth or water to keep the steaks moist. Cook on low for 4 to 6 hours. See, this is what I'm saying, 4 to 6 hours, depending on the thickness of the steaks and your desired level of doneness. Is doneness a word? Rest the steaks. Rest your steaks, because they'll be exhausted after being cooked for 6 hours. Rest the steaks. Once cooked, remove the steaks from the slow cooker and let them rest for 5 to 10 minutes to retain the juices. Serve. Slice the steaks against the grain. Very important. Against the grain, and serve with your favorite sides. This method ensures a tender and flavorful steak that's slow cooked to perfection. Enjoy your meal. Fine, but is doneness a word? Seriously? Yes, doneness is indeed a word. It's commonly used in culinary contexts. Oh, to describe the degree to which food, especially meat, has been cooked. When you refer to a steak's doneness, you're talking about whether it's rare, medium rare, well done, etc. Well, there you go. You learn something new every day. English. You never stop learning English, even though English is my mother's tongue. I'm still learning the language. Isn't that interesting? Doneness. I will now use that in mixed company. Maybe I'll use it tonight. Actually, that's exactly what I'll do. When Anthony serves me his slow cooked steak, I would say, "Ooh, this steak has wonderful doneness." And hopefully that will spark a conversation about the word doneness, and I'll be able to back up my articulation of the word with this information from Copilot. And that'll pass at least an hour or two in our dinner party. Because you should have a list of conversation points when you go to a dinner party. Nobody wants you just to sit in silence and awkwardness that entails. So this is great. So we need to add slow cooked steaks. The perfect slow cooked steak. That'll be our final prompt. The perfect slow cooked steak. Okay. So there is our prompts. We'll copy and paste them. We'll create a song first. That takes a little bit longer than the images. We'll go into audio. If you're watching for the first time, I mean, there's nobody watching, let's face it. But I put in all my prompts. I'm thinking what kind of audio vibe are these lyrics suggesting? An Ed Harris meltdown, raccoons, hiding from park rangers, Mao, waffle toppings, whipped cream. There's a lot going on in this. I think this could be contemporary folk music. Yeah, contemporary folk music. There's a lot going on, from Mao to raccoons. I'll remove Roadhouse because that might confuse things. Contemporary folk. Yeah. I look forward to it. So let's create 2 versions of that. And we'll get back to... We'll now then cross over to our image generator, which today happens to be Runway ML. You can use one of your own choice if you want to follow along. So first we'll create some images. Ed Harris, waffle toppings with whipped cream. I like the way meltdown and whipped cream are kind of similar, as in they kind of let's just put that in there and see what happens. Waffle topping with whipped cream and syrup during... Hold on. Ed Harris. Ed Harris Meltdown with waffle toppings. And, you know, it's Ed Harris, movie star, so we'll go with a cinematic. I'm just blocking the screen there, sorry. We'll just go with a cinematic style. Okay, the songs should be done by now. Let's listen to our first song. Whispers in the Waffle Sky is our first song of 2.
When the raccoons hide away in Dublin's shadowed lanes, Ed Harris in a spiral, seeking quiet in the rain. Underneath the waffle sky, whipped dreams and syrup sighs.
Oh, that's lovely. I was already singing that before it even played because it's just such a catchy tune. So let's go to the other one. That's Whispers in the Waffle Sky, and then Flavors of Dublin.
In Dublin streets, the raccoons hide, park rangers search, goes far and wide. A perfect steaks look cooked with pride, waffle toppings sweet, whipped cream applied. Through all flavors I'll find my way, melting heart in an airless place.
Okay. I like the relaxed vibe, kind of a Bon Iver feel to it, but I do prefer the tunefulness of the previous one, Whispers in the Waffle Sky. And let's see if I can extend this. Yes, let's extend this one because I want to hear more. Yeah, let's extend it by another 30 seconds, I believe. We'll soon find out, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go back to our image creator. Oh, the content was flagged. Well, okay, so for some reason that prompt of an angry Ed Harris has activated the content moderator, and it's blocked those images being created, which is a bit harsh, I believe. So let's remove Ed. Knowing Ed Harris, he's probably blocked his name and images being used for AI data points. Knowing Ed, although I kind of want to use, I removed Meltdown. Okay, so let's just try Ed Harris. Ed Harris in a sea of waffle toppings with whipped cream and syrup. So, oops, audio. So we now have do we have a longer version? Yes, we do, V1. It's now a minute long.
When the raccoons hide away in Dublin's shadowed lanes, Ed Harris in a spiral,
a beautiful song. Sorry, here's the lyrics here. When the raccoons hide away in Dublin's shadowed lanes, Ed Harris in a spiral, seeking the quiet and the rain. Underneath the waffle sky, whipped dreams and syrup sighs. The steak sizzles in the Dublin air, a masterpiece of flavour beyond compare, while raccoons sneak through cobblestone, seeking refuge from unknowns. Underneath the waffle sky, whipped dreams and syrup sighs. Beautiful. Raccoons sneak through cobblestone. That's definitely a phrase we gotta feed into the... Oh, anyway. Okay. So it's still refusing to generate any image of Ed Harris. So we will... let me see. The city of Dublin with waffle toppings. No, the city of Dublin. Let me see. The city of Dublin. Okay, let's not get too crazy here. Raccoons. Okay, raccoons. Raccoons eating waffles with whipped cream and syrup. Cinematic. Underneath the waffle sky, whipped dreams and syrup sighs. The steak sizzles in the Dublin air, a masterpiece of flavour beyond compare. Oh, isn't that a beautiful image of raccoons and waffles? Gorgeous. Now we're going to add some steak sizzling in the Dublin air, beyond compare. I think 3 images will be enough to create, maybe more actually. I have extended the song to a minute now, so we can create a few more images to go along with it. So I'm really liking this song. Let's listen to it again. Not ready yet. I'll download it then. If you're not, it's certainly ready because I've heard it. Extended version 1, yeah. This is the 4th song we've created this week. We're as prolific as Tyler the Creator. There's the steak. Beautiful. Very nice. I really like that lyric about the raccoons on the cobblestone. Raccoons sneak through cobblestone, seeking refuge from unknowns. Let's see what it cooks up, if you forgive the pun. And our final image will be something a little bit more surreal. Okay, that is literally raccoons on cobblestones. So, let's try and tie it all together. Let's try and tie it all together. Let's just add a final, prompt. Got a lot of raccoons here. A lot of raccoons, a lot of steak. Let's just try and tie it all together. Well, one more image. Okay, so the city of Dublin, I think. Let's just city of Dublin, full of raccoons. Raccoons and steaks. And we'll give it a slightly different style. We'll give it a different style. We'll give it a moody film style. Because most of the time when I'm in Dublin, there is a kind of a moody feel to it all. It's usually raining, so it's got that kind of film noir feel. I should have picked film noir. Is that an option, film noir? Don't think so. But you know what I mean. So we're coming to the end now, and if you're joining me for the first time, our show climaxes with me creating an AI song with AI imagery to finish off the show with a audiovisual experience like none other. That's literally never existed before this live stream. And we've gathered lots of data points along the way in our prompt file. So we're now hurtling towards a crescendo. Let's see what happened there. Okay, here we are. Here's Dublin, raccoons, and I don't see any steaks. Seems to ignored my demand for steaks, but that's fine. We got some nice imagery here. Now let's turn it into video. So we'll just switch over to our generative video tools. We will add an image. Of course, which image do we like? We like, let's have an establishing shot of the city first. So we'll a cinematic dolly, a cinematic drone. 5 seconds. Cues in your, and then we will. Very good. So in case you're wondering, I'm using Runway ML for this. Wow, those cars are kind of going in an unusual backwards momentum. But it looks kind of cool. I kind of like when AI makes mistakes like this. Sorry, you don't need to see my head. Okay. Okay, let's get our next image. Raccoons. I like this a lot. Turbo, 5 seconds. So this time, cinematic drone. No, person in the crowd. Yeah, person in the crowd. Okay, our next asset will be a close-up of the raccoons on the cobbled streets, because there is references to that in the beautiful folk song that we created. Isn't that beautiful? Dynamic motion. Let's see what that cooks up. What's happening here with our... Yeah, here's our man walking along with his friendly raccoon family. I don't know what that is there. What is this creature? I don't know what that is. I think it's it's a raccoon, several raccoons and a small child merged together, which is kind of kooky, but I approve of it. And then we got our raccoons, and I put a dynamic motion blur on this one. Beautiful. Look at this. Wow. Ain't that pretty? Walking through the cobblestones of Dublin, as the song entails. So, I'm going to create another image here. Raccoons in the Waffle House. They've snuck into the Waffle House now. They're having a great time. Close up. No. We'll have our... There's our cute little raccoon enjoying his waffles and fruits. I think raccoons are kind of like pigs, aren't they? Pigs, they kind of eat anything. So let's see what kind of preset we'll go for this. Go for a dynamic macro photography should be fun. That's an extreme close-up. Of course, it's forgotten. It's disappeared now. Macro photography. Can't find it. Can you see it? There you go. Macro cinematography. Okay. Whilst it's cooking that up, we will... I like this shot. I like this shot of him moving. And then our final shot, I think, should be back to a cityscape of a lone raccoon, maybe. No, a cityscape. Final. And we'll drone away. We'll do a drone shot, cinematic drone. Okay. Here's our little raccoon. Not much actually happens in that shot. That's fine. A beautiful little zoom out, or crane out, as we call it sometimes. And there's our drone shot. Yeah, it's a very low down drone. Okay, so let's put it all together now. And we're just over time here by 2 minutes. But that's fine. I got nowhere to go, and you don't either. No, I need the editor, the video editor. Video editor. New project. This is called Waffle Raccoons. Raccoons of Dublin. Okay. Let's just locate those videos. What I just created. Just bear with me for 1 second. Generative video. I keep forgetting it's in this folder. There they all are. There's our establishing shot. Gotta zoom in a little here. There's quite a lot of shots today. Bang. Next shot. Bang. I don't know what happened there. Whoops. Let's start that again, shall we? Our opening shot was actually this shot. There's me again. Just to prove a human being is doing all this. It's not automated. Not yet. There's the first shot. Then we go to the man with the raccoons. Then we go to a close up mid shot of our raccoon friends. And then a close up of them eating. We're up to about 25 seconds. Yeah, good. And then we will, yeah, more shots of raccoons eating waffles. Beautiful. I mean, you can't have enough shots of raccoons eating waffles, in my opinion. And then a final shot. I don't know where that went. Right. You gotta be careful where you place these clips. If you place them anywhere, if you place them slightly over the other clip, the previous clip will disappear, which is a bit of a bug, I think. And we'll just copy and paste. We'll copy and paste. Whoops. It's 5 images, so. Not sure why that's not copying. Copy. Don't be naughty now. Just do as I tell you. It's not doing as I tell me. Where are all those copied and pasted files gone? Very confusing. You gotta copy. Yeah, it doesn't want to copy and paste for some reason. This editor, oh, there they are on top for some reason. I'll just drag these. Don't be difficult. There you go. That's a good timeline. Don't be difficult. It's a Friday afternoon. No one's watching. Let's just get this done and then go about our business. Okay, now we're just going to bring the song in now. We're coming towards the moment of truth where we combine our artificially created song with our artificially created imagery. Whispers in the Waffle Sky was the name of our banging tune. Actually, it's folk. It's contemporary folk. It's not quite banging as such, but it's very thoughtful. And it's got a very wistful melody. Let's smack that in there. Look, it fits almost perfectly. We'll just put one more image at the end in then. I like that shot of the man walking. It really doesn't like layering. It's a beautiful image to end on, I think. I'll just put it over that. That seems to be a better way to do it. Okay. I'm very happy with that. Let's export that. We don't need to watch a preview. I'm very confident it's gonna work. The Raccoons of Dublin. Okay. Did that work? Did I export? Okay, it's still doing its thing. It's quite a big file. It's a minute. I usually do 30 seconds, but I kind of like. I think I like the idea of finishing off with a 1 minute video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching Stephen's online meltdown, or Stephen's online breakdown this week. It's been a steep learning curve for all of us, I think, especially me, because I've been the one presenting it and doing all the work, all the hard work. But I do appreciate everyone who has tuned in over the last few days. Shane, Mark Gleason, Rania Carews, my beloved Rania Carews. Thank you, Rania. Diasmiragwit. Sorry, Diagwit. Rosemary. Hello, Rosemary, for tuning in. Thank you. Dave O'Keefe. Pleasure to see you, sir. Pleasure to have you on board. Who else? I had my first troll, my first racist troll, who was trying to provoke me on Twitch. I gave him short thrift, and he went on his merry way. So it's been a really exciting first week, and it can only get better from here on in. So,
when the raccoons
so without further ado, I'll say goodbye. Have a wonderful Friday, and I hope to see you all again next week, Monday, 10:30 a.m. ish, where we will break bread together creatively, come up with some ideas, browse the internet, and then create a wonderful and unique, artificially intelligent music audio-visual experience that has never existed before until that very moment. Very much, in fact, like the one you're about to watch right now, that we're calling the Raccoons of Dublin City. Goodbye and good luck. And, most importantly, enjoy.
Away. When the raccoons hide away in Dublin's shadowed lanes, head arrows in a spiral, seeking quiet in the rain. Underneath the waffle sky, with dreams and syrup sighs, the stakes is all in the Dublin air, a masterpiece of flavor beyond compare. Well, raccoons sneak through cobblestone